Welcome to this Sock Soder Unfiltered podcast with your host, Melissa Kaiser. Now let's get started with the show.
Melissa Kaiser here, host of the Sock Soder Unfiltered podcast. Today we have Anthony Garache, President and CEO, and Ryan Carter, Vice President of Unique Computing Solutions. Welcome to the show, gentlemen.
Hey, Melissa.
Before we dive in, a quick word from our sponsor. At Sock Soder's core, their goal is to be a true partner and extension of their customers' team with clients, customers, and community. Sock Soder is a US-based 24/7 SOC SIM. They help their partners address cybersecurity, vulnerability management, and compliance requirements and needs. All right, we got that out of the way. So, how long have we been a partner with you guys? About 5 years? It's been longer than that, right, Tony? It's been a while.
It's been a long time. It's probably been, I don't know the exact time. We had some compliancy stuff where I think we started with a SIM, but it's been, I mean, Ryan, have we had him as long as you've been here? Or did we do it somewhere
not
in
as
there?
long. Yeah, not as long as I've been here. So that's like 10 years.
Yeah, so probably
you've been there that
years.
long.
It was really early on.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So let's, what do you guys do? Let's talk about your business a little bit. What do you support? How do you support your customers? That sort of thing. And then we'll kind of dive into some other security stuff.
I'll do that part. Ryan can do the security
No, I'll let Tony
stuff.
start that, the elevator speech and everything.
Yeah,
Let's
the
go.
elevator speech, we got this. So, I guess, this year is going to be 30 years for me. So I started in 1997, right? So I started my business in January 1st, 1997. We started as programmers. I always like to say, Al Gore invented the internet, and that's how I get here. That's what I tell people all the time. So it was around 2003, 2004 when we started doing managed services. And, we provide IT support to businesses. People really don't know what managed services means. I don't go into a place and say I'm a managed service provider. We're your IT department. We provide IT services to businesses. And, we lead with security. So that's what we do.
Okay.
We definitely lead with security.
Now, when did that switch? Because before, I guess you started in 2003, so there was no security. So when did you make the switch from IT to security then? When
Well,
did you see that shift, or was it just gradual?
no, so it's gradual. And when I say we lead with security, that means that if you're not secure, we're not going to do work. We're not going to bring you on as a client. So there are some basic security things you need to do. And so, all of our clients have a basic security stack, and then we get into bigger stacks. When the bigger the customer, the more that the need for, to be able to go backwards and figure out when after an incident happens, is we have solutions for that. So, yeah, and you can't. Businesses can't, in these day and age, you can't have a MSP that doesn't lead with security because, the biggest thing is our security, right? What happens if we get hacked? I mean, just imagine what happens if somebody got into our stuff, right? And, that's what I always say to, we need to be secure first, and then we, pass that security as well on to our customers.
Yeah,
So,
I think it's huge that the MSP, they have to make sure their house is clean, right? Because if you're not, then you're going to infect all your customers.
yeah.
And I feel like, and I think the industry is going into like, well, maybe you need some kind of certification, like accountants have, your CPA and that sort of thing. I kind of think that MSPs have to have something similar. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, again, I'm not, sorry, but I'm not a huge certification guy. And that's
I
because,
agree. I agree
well,
because it's just like
yeah,
you study for the test and
right.
then
So,
you still
I
don't might
used
not know
to,
anything.
I said I've been doing this, right? And I started like 2003. I think my first Microsoft Exchange server was 2000, Exchange 2000, right?
Oh,
Or something like that, or whatever, right? So, back then we were looking for people that could do email servers, and, I'd get all these resumes. I'm, Exchange certified, or I'm, NT certified. And then you sit down with them, you say, well, how many mail servers have you set up? Zero. How many
yeah.
NT servers have you set up? Zero. So, you know, the certification is just, for me, it doesn't mean anything. It's become more and more important internally for us because our customers want,
Yeah.
not our customers, but the vendors that we use, right? Like Microsoft and rest are putting heavy, things onto security or onto these certifications. You know, if you don't meet this, you don't do these certifications, you're not going to get rebates or you're not going to get good pricing. So it's
Oh,
become
that's
more and
right.
more
Yeah.
important. Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
remember Ryan, you talking about that.
yeah,
At our
Yeah.
solution
work today.
designations, right? When Microsoft,
Mhm.
in order to get the solutions designation to get, uh, to get free software from Microsoft and other things that they give us, you got to have somebody that's certified.
So let
So
me ask you this, Melissa. Were you asking about certifications for individuals or like the MSP being certified, like a cybersecurity
Some
certified, the whole
kind of,
thing?
yeah, like how, like a doctor, they have to, they could kill somebody if you say, oh, I'm a doctor, I play one
yeah,
on TV and they go in and do open heart surgery.
Yeah. And
I mean, because an MSP can do significant damage if their shit isn't right.
right.
And I see a lot of bad MSPs out there,
Yeah, yeah,
um, that are like, no, I just care about my customers, like, and their stuff is really bad. I mean, early on when we first started monitoring, it was amazing, because we would monitor the MSPs because they would test it out, so they would put us on their MSP. There was so much porn that they was watching, and it's it was like,
yeah,
oh, that was my son, and like, oh, right,
yeah,
right, yeah, uh-huh.
yeah,
But it was just like, man, you allow this, and it's just like an open door, it's like, what else are you doing? What other bad things are you doing if you're allowing this to happen? So how are you going to infect your network? So yeah, I mean, I work with Ryan for CMMC certification, and you guys are so easy because you already have an answer. It's like, we already have a process. We already have this is what we're already doing, and it's already best practices. So I mean, your pathway is very
yeah.
quick considering, because you're leading with it and you're doing what you say you're doing. So I really do appreciate that.
well,
Yeah,
I
and
can
I think,
attribute that to two things real quick. Sorry, Tony. Just one is like having a partner like you guys, Sock Solder, has helped us, tremendously grow because, we did 800, 171 a long time ago with you for one of our clients for the first time. And I learned so much then. And then the second thing is, I think a while back, Tony, I don't know if he came back from a conference or where it was at, but he came back, he goes, we're the next industry to be regulated.
Mm,
100% MSP industry, someone's going to push for it to be regulated. Probably won't happen anytime soon, but I think like there's going to be an administration that's going to push for something like this. And in doing so, we've always geared ourselves up to be prepared for that. Obviously, like Tony said earlier, we're security first. We lead with security,
mm.
but like you said too, we got to have our house clean, right? And we've been working on that, using frameworks like the CIS framework. Now we're going through CMMC with you and pushing towards, being ready to be regulated. So I
Yeah.
cut you off, Tony.
yeah, no, I was just gonna say, right, the MSPs out there, right? Um, you know, they need, every business owner, I don't care who it is, any business owner that hires an MSP, the first question they should ask is, what are you doing to protect me from your tools? They need to go ask that. What are you doing to protect me from your tools? And because the business owners don't understand, the business owners understand what could happen if a bad actor was to uh, you know, get into a MSP's computer that has all his passwords saved, right? In their Google, right? They just like to click and go right in, and I see it all the time, right? They don't have good password hygiene. They don't, they're storing their passwords and things like that. I mean, I'll be at conferences and I'll see people, right? They're not opening up they don't have any kind of thing running where they got a password keeper or something like that that's filling in these passwords. They just basically go into the screen, they boot up their laptop and they're right into their tools. And, and if somebody gets in, it's over for these guys. And I don't think they understand, you know?
No.
So I don't really think, business owners who hire MSPs really understand what could happen if somebody got into their tools.
Yeah. Now I see that you guys have a podcast. I was talking to Ryan about this.
Hmm.
Has that's probably been helping educate some of your customers of what good practices is.
Yeah. Yeah, and it
that's what-
does. We talk about it. Me and Ryan talk about. We have a lot of fun doing it. So we're doing it for, like just because we have fun too, right? And we hope that it's educational for people as well.
Yeah, we just
So
talk to each other the whole time.
we talk to each other the whole time, and it's like there are a lot of things to talk about when it comes to IT, and yeah. So and it also has, doing these podcasts also help with social proof and things like that. That, hey, yeah, these guys, they know what they're doing, or here's what they're doing, and sometimes we can refer them to it. Hey, go watch this
Mhm.
podcast if you want to learn about this.
Yeah.
And yeah, and what is it? It's called the Business Owners IT Podcast. And like Tony
Yeah,
said, we've been doing it for what, almost 2 years now. And
yeah,
it's a lot of fun. It gives us an opportunity to get together too and talk about things that we're working on and things we see in the industry together too.
Yeah.
hmm
So the big thing is AI. What's the good, the bad, the ugly you feel about AI and security?
Well, the security side right now is not there, right? I mean, people are just going Wild West and doing what they can and just, using any AI agent that they could find, right, Tony? I mean,
yeah,
every meeting I join, there's one company I join and there's 14 AI agents that join the meeting, those
Oh, wow.
fireflies and all that. Yeah, there's
Oh, yeah,
one for
yeah.
each participant in their company, and it's all a different brand, a different style. It's just all over the place right now. So no one's really putting governance on it. They're just trying to figure it out. And I think the security piece is next. People are going to start finding out ways to make money with it, and then the security piece is going to fall in play. But companies like I think Microsoft does a pretty good job with their Copilot and putting some guardrails on it. Tony?
yeah. I mean, right. So when we're talking about AI with our customers, we're typically talking about Copilot having that, whatever I call a fence guard, and he calls it something else, but having uh, the AI, you know, kind of inside of the business and not let it train other models outside.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
but if you do a search, and I've done this many times, I'll go through our tools and I'll do a search, and I'll use AI actually to ask, you know, what tools are being used in the company, because we have some things that we've done that we can actually see. Um, and businesses, people are using all different kinds of tools. They're all different ones, right? So, um, there's a good side to it. The bad side of it is, I think there's a recent thing that happened where they used AI to hack a business, right? So now we can use the AI that's in a bad way too, right? We can use it to write code to try to, hack businesses, and we can automate that and have it respond. And yeah,
Yeah, what are you seeing over there on your side, Melissa? I mean, is
We are seeing, that's a really good question. We are seeing from the time uh somebody's got inside the network till they get access to everything is like minutes. It used to be, days,
Mhm.
but man, there's a script that runs and boom, everything's infected with it. And
Yeah,
from the time that we see it till we escalate it, till the customer responds, it's pretty pretty awesome. It's pretty fast. And I mean, it's just basic, MFA, put some guardrails around identity and access control, and you got to get all your tools working together. But we bots bots are, I'm not really in that space. I just hear about it, but
yeah,
I
yeah.
know that there's a lot of bots that are going after it, and that's what's making it very successful. Because when we first started out, I want to say back in 2017, we maybe had a high alert once every 6 months. Now it's daily. Now we're seeing daily, sometimes more than once, and it's pretty ugly too. It's not like, oh, kind of maybe it's disable this account. It's really in Microsoft that we're seeing a lot of the
yeah,
attacks
business
coming
email
from.
compromise. Yep.
Yeah, identity for sure. Like you said, that's one of your first places you need to protect
Yeah,
is the
it's yeah.
identity.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I wish I could talk more about it. Um, but I just am more focused on the compliance stuff, so I hear a little bit, but I don't want to get involved because then I'll go down that rabbit hole and then I just get unfocused for my other work. But yeah, they're doing their, it's basically answer your phones whenever we call because it's probably going to be a high alert, right? And it's affecting, big businesses, small businesses, whatever. But yeah, it's a lot of bots are getting configured to do the attacks. That's
Yeah.
what we're
And
seeing.
then on the compliance side, when do you think they'll start seeing those and the gap assessments or the frameworks or anything like that, where they're going to start saying, what is your garden, guidance around AI, how you garden yourself?
Um, that's going to have to come from it's going to have to come from a memo from the DoD, I think. It's not going to be inside a rule. They might have an addendum, like more guidance on it. But yeah, I didn't think about that. They will probably have to have a memo about it. But I'm seeing more and more of my customers asking me, can I get an AI policy? And
Hmm.
there's really not a lot of guidance from the government of what does right look like. It's basically, what Tony, you said was make sure that you have approved tools and don't put your proprietary information out in the AI models out in the world, just
Yep.
You've
don't
written
do
a couple
that.
of those, right, Tony?
Yeah, we've written AI policies. We've used AI policies to write AI policies, use them to clean up policies. You know, we see a lot of business email compromises um, uh, with our customers, especially the larger ones, where um, no damage is ever really done because we identify it pretty quick and they're kicked out and we do all the reset. But the biggest thing is when we get a call and somebody's been there. And I mean, we had some recent calls where they call us and we're more on the prevention side. So Unique Computing Solution focuses on not having let preventing this. But
Yeah.
after, this after boom, like after it's happened, right? And they call us and it's like they need help. And it's like they don't have any compliancy. They don't have like the CIS compliancy or any frameworks. They don't even know like you struggle with them because you don't know they don't know their devices. They got their bring your own devices. They got contractors. They got people working all over the world. They know something happened. They don't know where it happened. They don't know what software's on their computers. You know what I'm saying? They don't have any of that. And it's like,
Well, yeah,
it's yeah.
and people are using all sorts of VPNs and it makes it hard because it's like
Yeah.
what's an approved VPN, what is not an approved? Oh, we just do anything and it's just like
Yeah.
no, you have to have
Hmm.
because
Right.
then it's hard for us to know like, well, what's good and what's not when you
Right.
haven't defined what's good.
Yeah.
Um,
And even
they're
their
just
identities, right? Going back to our identities. Now you got a customer that comes to you. They have 178 users, and there's not like one person that knows if every single user is a real user, right? Because in this case, they had the person that they compromised had global admin privileges,
oh,
so they could just create more users, right? And if you get into it, and I say this all the time, if you get into it and you have like free Microsoft, right?
mhm,
Microsoft licenses that that are sitting there because whatever reason the guy's gone, you give the license, free it up. They can create user and assign license to us, and you'll never know.
mhm.
They don't have any governance around identity. Well, many people don't,
It's
and
hard.
it's yeah,
I mean,
it's difficult.
when I go through and I ask customers, it's like, who are your authorized users? And they're like, oh, we're small, we're good. So I'm like, all right, let's go into Active Directory.
Yep.
Okay, let's go line by line. Who is this person? What is that? Oh, yeah, that person left 6 months ago. Oh, and that we replaced and we didn't change the name. We just put this person on top of it.
Yeah.
I'm
Did you
like,
disable the account when they left? No. Did you change the password?
no,
No. We
No.
just we just took their computer. They should be fine.
but we're fine. We're little. Nobody worries about us. And I'm like, okay, this is making me twitch.
Yeah.
And then
Why are they a domain admin? I don't know. Maybe they had to do something one time, so we
yeah,
couldn't figure out the
well,
permissions, so we just
there's
gave them
like
domain admin.
5 domain admins, right? And I'm like, who is this? And they're like, oh yeah, that was Jennifer. What does Jennifer do? She left.
Yeah.
And
Account
it's
still
like,
enabled.
yeah, but
Yeah.
but if I ask them, it's like, what does this look like? Oh, we're good, and then I'm like, no, open it up, let's take a look, and I'll just start asking some questions, and it's a hot mess. And it's funny
Absolutely.
because they're always very confident that they're good, right? And they never are. Even the smallest ones are like 5 users. They're still bad
Yeah.
because there's not a lot of discipline and there's not nobody like watching and nobody knows what right looks like. And
No.
I try to come in and I think you guys too. It's like, look, man, this is how you got to do it because you have to have a baseline because if you deviate from that baseline, you have to know what was deviated
Right.
from and then you have a better idea of what changed and maybe who changed it and dig into that because maybe I'm going to say an MSP made a change without it being approved somehow. They just did
Mhm.
Yep.
it,
Yep.
and because they're the ones that have admin credentials. So,
Yep.
my job is really to, I mean, you guys are already trained, but to train them that you just can't make changes to stuff and we need a reason why. Or it's partly because of the end customer, because the end customer there's like, that's my stuff. That's
Mhm.
mine. I get to do what I want to do, and then you have all the shadow IT, that
Yep.
you were referring to. And it's hard for you to manage this, right? Because they're just doing all this shit that you have no idea with, and then you are ultimately in trouble when something goes bad, right?
Yeah.
Well, and the
I mean,
question
it's the
too.
MSP too, right? So, I mean, we will disable accounts, and when I do IT reviews, I go through all of them with my customers, and then we create tickets to clean them up because we will disable accounts too and leave them there. And it builds up, right? So,
I
Yeah.
mean, look at what the beast that Microsoft 365 has become, right? When you
yeah,
turn it on, you just turn, a lot of people they turn it on for email. And that's all they have. And they want to get their Excel documents and stuff like that and be able to open them. And then nobody goes on the government. No one knows all the extra stuff you have to do in Microsoft 365 to even begin security. I mean, Tony and I talk about Secure Score all the time. And
yeah,
your baseline Secure Score, when you fire that thing up, is like 40%. And your goal
yeah,
is to be at 70. But how do you get there? A lot of people don't know. Those small 5-person companies, they just went and bought it from like GoDaddy
Mhm.
and no one cared and they got their email and it's done. But there's so
Yeah.
much more to be done.
yeah. And
Yeah.
we've taken over. As a good story. I think I told this story on our podcast recently. We had a customer that left and then came back, and they got into his Microsoft 365, right? He's a one-man shop. There's only one person there.
Mm.
So they're talking one guy, right? And he had his credit card in there. And what did this guy do, right? This guy got him by saying, "Hey, I'm going to give you a free website. Give me access to your Microsoft 365 and I'll build you a website." So he did.
Oh.
He never heard back from the guy, right? He didn't build no website. What this guy did is went into Microsoft 365 because you can register domains in Microsoft 365, use his credit card to register domains, right? And then
Mhm.
assigned exchange licenses and stuff to there using his credit card inside of his
Nice.
Microsoft 365 and creating impersonation domains and was sending out emails to impersonating companies for months on this
Oh,
guy's
okay.
dollar, right?
Yeah, they were companies like, like with the name with like
Big ones. Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like Sock Solder with a zero instead of an O somewhere. Like he was registering those domains and then using them to
Oh.
compromise.
Yeah. An I,
Oh.
a capital L or a capital I for an I, and they were targeting, they had a huge list. They were targeting big companies,
Do you know
So
how much
yeah,
money they spent with his credit card? Or how did he
I,
find out?
I
Who
don't,
told him?
he just knew that he had a
They finally
problem.
locked him out of his account.
Yeah, they
He
locked
couldn't
him
get
out.
his
He knew he
email.
had a problem, you know. So
And if I'm
the
not
nice thing
mistaken, it was
about,
one of our old accounts that got him back in, right? We were able to get in with an
yeah, we
old
had an
account.
old account that they never cleaned up, that we got him back in and fixed it for him. But
Wow. It's
he's
funny.
just an electrician. He's a good guy, and there was no hard feelings. You know,
Just
he
didn't know.
just he just didn't
Naive and
know,
trusting.
and yeah, yeah. So yeah, I mean, so it's yeah.
So how much time do you spend like educating your customers about how stuff works? Because I have a feeling like security isn't top of their mind. They're more worried about making money,
Yeah,
and security costs them money,
yeah.
but doesn't.
Security awareness training, right? So we provide security awareness training to our customers, and
But you have to be able to get into the business first to be able to provide that. So how do
yeah,
you win business then? Do you just,
it's
I'm
part of
just
our
curious.
security stack. It's what that's one of the things that we offer to them. Um, so you know. most of our companies, so here's most of the companies have cybersecurity insurance now, right? And you get those questionnaires,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So once they get those questionnaires, it's very easy to align them to those questionnaires because, Ryan and I know the answers. Are you providing security awareness training? Yes or no? No, you're not. And, well, maybe you should do that, right? So,
Yeah.
and a lot of those policies are becoming more and more aligned to, uh, you know, to frameworks, you know what I'm saying? So it just depends who it is, depends what kind of company it is.
Okay.
We'll see some of those questionnaires for policies aligned to the FTC safeguards, right? We'll see some of them aligned to PCI and CIS. We'll see some aligned to the Department of Defense type of things. It just depends, right? And who it is,
Mm.
you know. And I know earlier you talked about us maybe having to get certified or whatever you guys want to call it, you know. I mean, I
Mm.
feel like my errors and omissions guy, TechRug, who we use, he does that to me every year. I mean, it takes me a month to answer all the questions, and I mean, they're very difficult questions, and they want proof. So now it's against the
Mm.
framework, right? Not only does he want me to answer the questions, but he wants me to provide the documentation supporting that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
so yeah, like, hey, do you have laps installed, set up and
Oh,
configured?
wow.
Yeah, we do. Okay, well, give me a screenshot, show me that you have laps set up, that type of
Wow.
stuff. Yeah,
And then
So
I
does
hear, "Hey
that
Ryan, give me a screenshot that this is set up."
yeah, yeah.
So
So,
that's interesting because I do the E&O insurance and I haven't got asked that yet.
mhm.
And we have a hard time getting the E&O insurance and the cybersecurity insurance because of what we do,
Yep.
right?
Hmm.
And I'm sure you're the same way
Well,
because,
yeah.
oh, you're an MSP, it's going to be harder for you to prove. I haven't got that proved yet, but
So,
yeah,
so the
each
gentleman
each
we
year gets
use, he
harder.
only does MSPs, and
Oh, okay.
I don't know, the cover holder or something. So, he only does MSPs, right? And he has a tough questionnaire, right? And um, he has a very tough questionnaire. And if you meet that stuff, then we actually get a pretty good deal on it. Or, I've compared his prices. He's usually cheaper, but he makes it hard to get it. And he has a whole team behind him. So, that's verifying that we're
Oh,
doing what we're
so
saying we're doing.
he knows what he's looking at when you send him screenshots. You can't
Well,
just
he doesn't do it. He's the owner
give
doesn't
it
do it. He
to
has he has a he
a
has a
team.
yeah he has a team of um people that help him.
Mm. So they
And
know what they're looking at. So it's not
they know
like,
exactly, and the questions are very tough. So
yeah,
yeah,
and it's not like SOC 2 where you're just like, here you go, and you give them a bunch of slop and they're like, oh, okay.
nope, it's
Um,
not. No, he wants proof. He's not going to ask for
Sock too.
proof.
It's so
You know what I'm
true.
saying? So, hey, you say you're patched. He wants to see all of our patch reports for all of our customers. We have to
oh, are
provide
you
that to
kidding
him.
me? All
No,
your
I'm not
customers?
kidding you. No, I'm telling you the
Wow,
truth. Yeah,
that's
show me your
insane.
patch reports. Show me your, all of this stuff, right? So yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
That's really, I hope
Yeah,
he does offer a pretty good discount if you have
Tony's
to
usually in
show
a
all
pretty
that
good
stuff.
mood during that month.
No, I'm not. It's coming up too. He just sent it to me again. They send it to you. It's like 3 months away, and he wants me to do it now. I'm like, dude, that's not to October. But yeah, you know.
Got to prepare.
But
Maybe he's
yeah,
giving you time to prepare and to
yeah,
get
yeah,
through it. Yeah.
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 But
Now,
again,
are you getting a lot of third-party assessments from your customers? Hey, fill this out. Are you getting more of those or haven't you seen them that
like
much
flow down
lately?
from things. Yeah, no,
Mm-hmm.
not really. They
Mm-hmm.
should do more of it, but they don't. Um, the
Yeah.
flow down side of things, yeah, not really.
Hmm. Because
So.
I write a lot of them for my end customers and I'm
Mhm.
like, you need to give this to your MSP to fill out. And I show the MSP that and they keep quiet normally. But
Yeah, I would love it. I mean, I wouldn't
yeah.
mind doing that at all, you know. And about 3, 4 years ago, even internally, I could tell you another story because I have lots of them. I've been doing this. We hired a guy who was an IT coordinator, right? And first day he gets in, and we don't know the guy. We just hired him off of probably LinkedIn or something like that. And he comes in and he gets all set up, and he hasn't really in IT. He was more of a just a coordinator, like dispatcher, as you want to call him. And that night he was like on his home computer, like in our RMM and all that stuff. And
Oh.
that's when like I just kind of hit the roof. I said, I don't know this guy, you know, and yeah, so that's when we went to actual FIDO keys. So I don't know if you know, but we actually use FIDO keys if you can
Yeah.
see it, right? So
Yep.
we're using
Yep.
FIDO keys, and only our equipment now can get into our stuff. So
Yeah.
I mean, try and do that. I mean, that was a monumental task to get everything in single sign-on and controlled with FIDO key and things that we could only get into our tools from our equipment. But
Yeah, that because
you know,
that surprised me that he's like he was able because I'm like I don't think you guys are able to do that. So this was before.
Yeah, now you know the
Yeah.
spark that lit that fire.
yeah,
Yeah. I
yeah,
would
yeah.
go ballistic. Ballistic.
Well, what are you going to do
Uh,
though, right? Even your employees, right? Even though you trust them, and I've been doing this a long time, and I trust all of them, right? But you don't want them logging on from a home computer and then
no,
go
no.
away and leave it up, and then the babysitter comes down and sits down, or their computer's compromised. And again, MSPs don't think about that. They're more concerned, like, they're more concerned about providing the customer support and stuff, and they don't think about their own stuff. What is this guy doing at home, type of thing, or could there be potential where they go in, they log in at a client with their stuff and they leave the computer on, right? Logged in
Yeah.
to your stuff. And I know it happens. I mean, I
And
Yeah,
know it's
that's
it
a
happened. I
does.
know it
great
does.
Yeah.
question to ask your MSP.
Yeah.
Can your guys log in from their home computer and
Yep.
get to your RMM? Can they
Yep.
just can they
Well, I
use
do
their
ask
wife's
that.
work computer to do that?
I
Yep.
do, I
Yep.
do ask that. I'm like, is this IP locked and where are you authorized to it's in access control domain 3.1.14, I think it is. I ask those questions and I make them sure they lock it down. Oh, they tell me that they do, but I have to go through the mock assessment to verify that they have done that
Yep.
because, yeah, for things like that, and they should know better, right? I mean,
Well, they should do it.
My own story is that, there's always a phishing thing out to new employees or employees that says from me, and it says, kindly provide me your cell phone number. And I'm like, and they're like, hey, Melissa, I sent you my cell phone number. And I'm like, I never asked for that. And they're like, yeah, you did. And I say, do you ever hear me say the word kindly? Am I
Right.
ever am I
Kindly
ever
as
this
always.
polite?
But
I'm
yeah,
not this nice.
the only
It's
problem
very,
is AI now, right? AI is fixing that. AI now is fixing those. It's getting harder and harder because of AI to
Yeah.
catch these
oh,
Make me
this was,
sound
anomalies.
like
yeah,
an
this one was
American when I
so
send this phishing
obvious. And I'm
email.
like, do you not see, like, this is not coming from me? It just says my name, but look at the URL on this or the domain. And I'm like, come on. And then
Yeah.
they're like, and I'm like, we're a security company for God's sakes.
Yeah.
And, you know, um,
Yep. Yep.
thank God it's only their cell
Cell phone
phone
number.
number. And I'm like, besides, I already have it. Why would I ask you for it? I already got it. I can already get access to it. And they're like, oh, okay.
Then they get the cell phone number. Hey, hey, this is Melissa. Can you go get me some
Gift
Amazon gift
cards.
cards and send me the pins?
That's the
I'd
best
like to
one.
give a giveaway to everybody here at the office because everyone's so awesome.
Most
Yeah.
successful one we've seen recently is the emails that went out about from HR. They looked like from HR and talked about bonuses or change in healthcare or something, or change in medical, and like so many people clicked on it.
Oh, click here to
Right?
get your bonus. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
click here to get your
Oh,
bonus, right? And yeah,
And then half our
yeah.
owners are out there going, I don't give bonuses. What are they
yeah, we don't
talking
give no
about? What are they
bonuses. What are you
clicking on
clicking on
this?
that for? Right?
It's
Yeah,
like March and I got my bonus in yeah, December or whatever. Yeah.
yep.
Yeah. I mean, I felt for it once. It was a FedEx and I was just like during Christmas and it was, I was expecting something and I was like, oh shit, I don't think I was supposed to, so I mean, I even fall for it and I'm trained and I know better, but sometimes you get busy. I get it, but really, really can't these days. I'm just worried about getting a phone call with my voice,
Hmm.
Yeah.
that's one of the things I'm concerned about.
Yeah.
Um,
We just did a podcast on how, not did, but we did one earlier on how easy it is to create that AI voice. And our producer recreated my voice
oh
Yeah.
and
yeah,
then called our office and asked them did that credit card scheme and tried to get it like, I'm in a hurry. I'm in a pinch. I need this right now. Give me the credit card number.
did they? Did it
No,
work?
no,
Oh,
they figured
okay.
it out. I mean,
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay.
Yeah, they called Jillian, right? They called they used it and called the front desk as his voice.
yeah, yep.
So you can't even really use voice anymore as a way to know somebody, right? It's like you got to ask them, hey, how did I meet you? Or what did, you know what I'm
Well,
saying?
the
It's like,
keyword you got to
Yeah.
have, I mean, for key individuals in your family, right? You should have keyword, like something that is a word that only they would know, so that
yeah,
they would ask you, like say this to me, what is that word we talked about, that kind of
yeah,
thing.
That's a good point. Yeah. Yeah. Because they try it with me. It's like, oh, you owe us $500,000, and like a sales guy will send that to me, and it's just like,
yeah,
hey, Melissa. I'm like, yeah, no.
yeah,
But I'm the only one that can make the big purchases, so and I'm cheap, right? And I'm always questioning, why are we doing this? What is this? And that sort of thing. So
yep.
they try really hard, and I'm sure you get those too. Um, or
Well, it used to be
anybody
phone
will.
calls too, right? So it used to be phone calls. They used to do it through phone calls too. Now it's email, phone calls, everything. So,
Yeah.
you
Yep.
know,
Yeah.
like
It's cool.
I can remember my father-in-law getting a phone call where somebody called him and said, Grandpa, I need some help. And he said, Andrew. And my mother-in-law heard it and said, Andrew's in Disney World. Hey, he's not calling you. Took the phone and slammed it down. So, they call and they can't hear and they say, Andrew, now they got your name, right? And
Yeah, Andrew.
yeah,
Yeah, it's me,
it's like,
Grandpa.
next thing you know, they're wiring money. It's
Hmm.
like, and it happens and it's very sad because the most vulnerable people out there, the elderly and some of
Mhm.
them are, they're so vulnerable.
Yeah, and they're
And
very naive about how things work and
yeah,
and that sort of thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yep. They're on a
So
fixed income. They call them about their money. Then they get all worried that it's their actual bank and they're losing
yeah,
money, kind of stuff.
yep.
Yeah.
And
Happens
yeah,
now
so
with the
much.
voice, right now they could do that same thing with AI voice and, you know, but
yeah. It's
yeah,
scary. It's scary. So I don't know. I was just reading today, let's see, I was trying to find it about a bot compromised. Oh, rogue bot escapes lab, hacks rival.
yeah.
So I saw that
I saw
today,
that too. I said, yeah. And yeah, yeah. And
and I'm like,
now they can just produce them with AI, right?
mm-hmm.
So, they can do all the coding and everything with it, right? And yeah, I know they're trying to stop it, but they just find ways to ask the question where they can get the AI to answer them. So,
Yeah, yeah, it was Chat GTP. I see
yep,
that.
yep. So yeah,
It's
but
coming. It's
it's
coming.
coming.
It's
Yep.
coming. So
What a,
yeah, we just have to stay ahead of it now because it's coming even faster. Because I remember seeing I think I was at like RSA, and I was listening to a hospital CISO talk, and he was like, the hackers are human, and we are at, you know, I don't know, a monkey level, as far as evolution of how hackers are. They're so far ahead of us, and we're always trying to catch up. And with this AI stuff, we're gonna have to run even faster and harder and keep our tools updated. And we're doing that from a Soxotter point of view. I don't know if you've seen our latest updates, but we're developing our own AI, internal AI capability to help protect, you guys and your customers and everything, and trying to be faster, outrun those guys. But it's
yep,
it's
yep,
tough. We got to continue to evolve our tools from a cybersecurity industry to keep up with all this stuff. And AI does help, but to
yeah. And
what
you guys
extent, we
also
don't
need
know.
to make sure those tools are secure as well, right? So, I mean, it's a
Absolutely. Yeah.
double-edged sword, right? So you also
hmm
have to make sure that your tools can't get compromised.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's I was a programmer for a long time, so for the first 10 years or so, I was
And now,
programming and
now it's all at the speed you can think, right?
yeah, yeah,
If you want to
yeah.
attack
Now,
someone,
yeah. I
it's the
mean, if I was a
speed
programmer
you can
now, I'd
think.
be
You don't
able
have
to
to
write.
worry about figuring it
Yeah.
out. You just ask.
If I was
Yeah.
programming now, I'd be able to write code 10 times as fast.
Oh yeah, we do. We're
Uh,
able to do it. We're able to produce stuff a lot faster just with the AI help. Of course, always have to have a human behind it. What I'm seeing right now is like compliance. you know, you have these GRC tools that are saying, oh, I use AI to help write it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
it's still garbage. It's garbage. Just
Yeah, yeah.
because they
Oh,
can't
yeah.
get nuanced and detailed enough to get into and understand how you use the tools, what tools you're using, how is it configured. And I've tried to use AI to do that, but I'm like, it's just easier for me to just do it myself. Because if I have to code everything in, it's going to take me even longer to do it. But yeah, so AI, you know, from a compliance standpoint is probably an 80% solution, but you still need a human being to finish the rest of it, especially for
Yeah.
CMMC.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you need oversight for sure on that stuff because it could, I mean, AI is so nice to please. It's going to say yes to half the stuff in there and you might not have it.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
You
it's
can
gonna be,
get it
yeah,
to
yeah, they
see your,
got this. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I saw in an email once you talked about it, so you must have it. Like, that's how it would look through your tools. That's how half the stuff I do when I have it search my email, it comes back with the answers that I know are not correct just because it thought it
yeah,
was in there because it saw it. So you got to
yeah,
Yep.
oversight. You have to have it.
It's
yep,
just an assistant. It's not really, it's not going to give you the right results all the time.
right,
So it definitely
yep,
can help you clean up your language. It definitely can help you, you know, start out as a base language and then get it to, tweak it to be where you want, but it's still, it's not smarter than,
it makes my emails sound so much nicer.
yeah. But but the problem we're seeing is now we can tell every email that was written with AI because they're so long, right? And
Yeah,
long-winded. They're not to the point, they're
yeah,
long-winded, right? And it does say exactly what you want, but people are starting to just not read emails because, you lose them. I mean, I wrote a long one today. I did use AI, but I'm not sure they even read it. I mean, the whole thing, but it marked everything out. It said everything that needed to be said to their bullet point, and explained it, but you know,
yeah.
people,
It
you could
is too
tell,
long. Yeah,
yeah,
it's
they
too
get to be
long.
too long, right? So,
Yeah,
So
yeah, and
I
it's
had a
too
guy
much, too many
yesterday.
words.
yeah,
I had a gentleman yesterday that we're trying to clean up his SharePoint for, and he's very long-winded individual when he talks anyway.
Is he a
And he
lawyer?
sent me this whole AI thing on exactly how he wants it to be, which means he just asked ChatGPT or whatever and did it. And I took everything he sent in that email, copied it, and pasted it over into a chat. And I just basically said, "This is AI slop. Can you make it concise with well-defined projects, something easy to follow?" And it came back as like, "Absolutely. This reads like a 40-page government's document. What that client really needs is a project charter and implementation blueprint." And then it gave me a one-pager on what to send back to the guy
Oh
to
my
say, "This is
God.
what we'll do for you
Was it
out of all
helpful?
of it." What's that?
Was it helpful? I mean, one page is a lot.
It
So
pulled
was it?
everything that needed to be for that project out, and I can make a statement of work out of it now. But what he
Oh,
sent me
okay.
before, if I sent that to one of my team members and I said, "Hey, go ahead and just start getting to work on this," it would take months, hundreds and
Hmm.
thousands of hours to go through exactly what he wanted there. It was crazy, but it was just kind of funny. I go, "This is AI slop. Can you fix it for me?" And it's like, "Yeah, I got you."
That's
yeah,
funny.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and we'll see it a lot. You know what I'm saying? They'll answer emails with the AI, and sometimes they don't even read it. So they don't read what they're sending us, and then it doesn't even make sense.
Yeah,
Yep.
I can see
So,
that.
and it could be the same
Yeah.
thing with compliancy, right? And I
Mhm.
always tell clients too, I tell every client that I meet with that you should align to a framework, whatever that might be. Okay, should align to a framework. And I said, but you know what? If you're not going to follow the framework and not do it, then don't do it. Because if I end up in court with you and they ask, do you do this? Are you providing security awareness training? And and they say, yeah, can I see the reports? And you don't do it, even though you're paying for it. They're paying me for it, but if they don't do it, then you know you're not going to win.
Yeah, we're not
Yeah,
gonna be
Especially
able to
with
help you there.
cybersecurity insurance and those
yeah,
things. Yeah. So
yeah,
yeah,
for sure. For sure. Anyway,
yeah.
we're at the top of the hour. So why don't you just tell me like if anybody wants to connect with you or learn more, what's the best place to reach you? How can we reach you? Website, LinkedIn, what would
Go
you
ahead,
like to do?
Ryan. You got this.
Well, we are Unique Computing Solutions. We actually, we have a website, uniquecomputing solutions.com. But like Tony said, we have our podcast, the Business Owners IT Podcast, and you can find us on any social, like, I don't know. Our guy does all of them, TikTok, Instagram.
Mhm.
LinkedIn. You can find us anywhere on those and reach out. Our website has a reach out form, but anywhere you put something for us, we'll find it.
And you guys are located where? And which area do you, what area of the country do you support? Like,
I'll let Tony go with this one.
Yeah, so we're located in the Chicagoland area. We have two offices. We have one in the south suburbs of Chicago, and then we have one in Northwest Indiana. As far as where we support, I mean, the majority of our folks are going to be in the Chicagoland area, but we have some, $500 million companies, and we have some very large companies that are all over the United States. So we're
Okay.
able to support both, local companies and abroad. So, we definitely have, customers in multiple states, but majority of our work is here.
Gotcha. Okay,
Right. So
perfect.
contact us. You can, we're both on LinkedIn,
Mhm.
you can contact us through our website. You can call us. Yeah, we're here to help.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks so much. I appreciate your time.
Yep,
And I am going to stop recording. Okay.
Thanks,
sounds
Melissa.
good.
Hey, thanks.
Thank you for tuning in to the Sox Soder Unfiltered podcast. Be sure to check out other episodes and subscribe so you don't miss out on great conversations.